Hello everyone. Well, this is my first video in English, and also this is my first Let's Art. I don't know, my time lapse for a work. This one is a creature of boredom. Yeah, again. And well, first of all, forgive me. Please forgive me if I have issues speaking in English, but yeah, it's still being a little hard for me because, well, I'm living in a Spanish speaking country and in a rural side of the country, so nobody else speaks in English. Okay, anyway, well, a reason for my creatures of boredom is they have no reason to exist. I mean, I don't have any idea of what I am creating until it was created. You might see here how I'm just trying to do random lines, random curves, but yeah, in this moment, the main figure of what I love is right now. What is that? Okay, the classical curve. That curve line. If you check. Sorry for the ambient, but okay. If you check the majority of my works, you might see how the majority of them are using some kind of pattern represented by a curve, and that's because, well, two reasons. The first one, you might see how I have some kind of a slope in the paper sheet, and also is because I don't know, I love to draw with that line in the middle. Okay, we saw that I've made a dog. I don't freaking know how in the heck a dog appeared in my mind, because as you might see, I don't like to draw real animals, even in a cartoony way, but I actually don't like to draw them because, well, I am a biologist. That's not a secret, and I had to draw nature in a very realistic way. Well, I used to do that. Being honest, if you ask me now to draw a dog, an actual dog, a realistic dog, maybe I will not do that. But there was a time when I used to draw like all those beautiful drawings and paintings of nature. Well, that's actually a course in my school, in my university. So the only thing I really got from all of that was the employment of color. You will see that after I finished the outlining. Oh, there's a secret I want to share with you. Okay, everybody praises my lines, but actually, as you might see, they are very dirty. The secret is this. First of all, I used to draw and to paint in traditional ways, as if I were working with a Photoshop. That sounds stupid, yeah, but I treat my traditional work as if I were working in Photoshop. Why? Well, first of all this outlining actually will be drowned in color because, of course, it's a creature of boredom and all of them has color. But more important, I need to make them all the lines, because after all the recoloring I will have to draw it again. Another thing I love in my creatures of boredom is the way I can play with them. Hey! There's an ant! Okay, long short story. Um, I made a dog. I don't like realistic dogs. So, hey, it has no ears and it has no hair. Let's place another head with an alien and its ears. That's amazing, because while I'm drawing, I'm creating this story. Okay, right now, I know that this is not some kind of symbiosis. This is an unique organism and needs the thing with an eye above his head to hear, to catch sounds. I don't know. Maybe my accent is pretty stupid, but I hope you understand me. Okay. And the idea of adding weird things even to the more realistic stuff was because I love to draw patterns and I love to draw textures, and it's not a secret anyway. And I love to experiment, and every character has its way to be working patterns and work in textures that I will not make in a real piece of artwork, because or real, not realistic, because nature has its own rules, and in fiction and in surreal you can make your own rules and follow them, of course, but they are your rules. By the way, there's another thing that people have said a lot, and I must admit is cheat from me, because you maybe followed me with the tags in DeviantArt. But yeah, this style has less from Tim Burton and more from Doug Tenapel. I am a fan of Earthworm Jim. I love Earthworm Jim games. So if you check the style by Doug Tenapel, well, this is very similar and surreal. And yeah, obviously I also love Tim Burton stuff, and Beetlejuice the animated series and Nightmare Before Christmas were more of my main inspirations, but the majority of his works were unknown for me until my teenage and even my adulthood. For instance, I didn't see the original movie of Beetlejuice after I was 18, and that's weird, I know, but yeah, I grew up with the animated series, for instance, and I don't know how much input Burton put there, but I had to admit that's Burton-esque for me. Okay, but yeah, was Doug Tenapel and of course Edward Gorey, the father of this style. Myself, Tenapel, Burton, and other artists will never try this if he were not the first to do that. Okay, but anyway, I'm not talking about my poor dog. Even if in the version in Spanish, I spend more time talking about the dog, like if I were a weirdo. I forgot the name of this guy, the birded guy that says everything is happy. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the coloring phase. I need you check this. I use a very limited color palette. Everything I do needs to be based on the mix of colors. For instance, this creamy light color, I don't know its name in English, is a base that I like to use. Together with yellow and blue, this color is a constant, but almost nobody cares about that. I don't know. Maybe it's because both other colors are very vibrant. But yeah, check this. The yellow is merging with the creamy color, and that creates a texture and also gives a shining that you cannot get in digital. Oh, okay, you can get in digital because it's digital, but you need more work because you need to change layers, modify. I don't know. You understand me? Because everybody uses digital right now. There's a few persons trying traditional, and I feel bad for that, by the way. Anyway, that's a good moment to explain something. Yeah, that's a main reason because I leave DeviantArt sometimes. I feel sad because the majority of persons, I don't blame them. I love their styles, but I also feel bad for that. The majority of people has the same style and has the same way of color, and that for me is very sad because I've seen wonderful pieces of artwork that would like better if you were using a brush or a pencil instead of layers. Layers are wonderful. I won't deny that because I also draw. I also color in digital. I never. Well, no, I have 4 or 5 cases, but I almost never use digital to draw. Okay, coloring is wonderful, but yeah, there's some kind of magic that you can get using traditional arts, and I try to encourage you to do that. Even if you think, but there's expensive and blah blah blah. Let me explain you something. I'm poor. I'm poor, okay? Me as a scientist, Mexico is the worst place to be a scientist, okay? I am unemployed. I'm living with my parents again because my own country refuses to hire me. In the pandemic of coronavirus, I were making a protocol for diagnosis, for quick diagnosis. That was experimental, but if it worked, they will save lives, they will save money, they will save everything, and they refused to do that. So I'm poor. I'm very poor. And all those pencils that you saw worth 20 pesos. 20 pesos is $1. You have not a pretext for not trying to do that. I mean, check that eye, please. I love I love to draw eyes, okay? And that eye is, I'm proud of that. And if you understand how to color something that look like that eye in traditional, you will be able of making wonderful pieces of genuine art art in digital. What I meant, I got lost. I very lost. Forgive me for that. There's a thing I love in my style, and that is my style. But also, what I meant, it's sad that you cannot think outside of the box because there's another artist that tries to make their own style and ends doing the same. The same is the freaking Steven Universe style of art. I like that, but I hate that too, because it kills the creativity. I mean, let me explain this in a better way. I am a great fan of One Piece, but I hate Fairy Tail because its art style. I hate people trying to make their own version of One Piece, not because they are doing the same, because it's not the same, but because they are trying to emulate completely the style of another artist. Yeah, I know Fairy Tail improved with the time, but yeah, that was my main reason. And even knowing that people hate One Piece because of its art style, but they hate that because it's different. And that's the point. It's different. It's a fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air. Fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air for your eyes. If you used to be confined to a simple style, one particular style, you are dead. I am dead. I'm trying to draw in a different style, and it costs me a lot. Really, that's the main reason, because the Emmeline comic project was cancelled, because I wasn't able of drawing so many people. I wanted to draw more people, more varied, but I was unable to do that, and I had to spend more time reading again about art, and also checking my old naturalistic works to in order to get more, because it hurted me a lot. Anyway, we're finishing, and this is the last part. And remember what I said about the Photoshop? Well, this might be the third layer in black and white, in the way I use it. What I mean, I'm remarking everything, trying to make it be highlighted. Maybe you cannot see that now, because of course we lack a part that is the scanning. But anyway, you will see that in the final result. Thank you so much for visiting me. I will try to make more. Please give me your feedback.